Zo Loft and get your head right.
Well, all right, what's up, head right homies? Welcome to the Zo Loft, your head right hangout. You know, your sane space from the Global Rubber Room. Hey, I hope y'all doing real groovy. And I hope it gets even groovier for you here in the Zo Loft. Let me serve up that dose. All right, man. So, hey, what are we gonna try to get to today? How's y'all summer been going, man? Have y'all been doing? Y'all been getting your barbecue? I've been getting my barbecue on, man. I smell like smoke all the time. Yeah, just out there trying to get my grill on.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I'm trying. I try to be a good host. getting my hosting thing on, trying to make my woman a treat to eat.
It is indeed a treat.
So, what are we gonna try to get here today? What y'all been up to? As y'all type that stuff in, let's go over what we're gonna try to get to. What can we throw on the grill with this stuff? We got the New York Times having a while with this. Is gonna be concerning some donors, whether you want to or not, whether you're ready to or not. And then we have this one. I guess this is, according to this editorial, this is just weird. Living mushroom caskets, a better future for funerals. Let's talk about it. In an effort, like, wow, man, it's going to give a whole new meaning to, what is that, magic mushrooms? I just immediately feel people like, looking for like people were buried in a mushroom cactus and digging them up and trying to pop them and have some like trippy experience. Yeah. Would that be kind of like a form of cannibalism? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, good question.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about it. So, in an effort to paint Sydney Sweeney as unattractive, Libs teach American men she's a Republican who shoots guns and works on classic cars. Oh yeah, blech. She is just ridden with cooties to me now. Let's see, we got, I guess she could be as hot as whatever, she's still ridden with cooties to me because I got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. But doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Shut up before I start digging a deeper hole.
She is the standard of beauty, I'll give her that.
Hey,
she's attractive.
Yeah, she's
an attractive young lady.
Right, there you go. Christ is not ours to reshape, but rather ours to proclaim. How casting, talk about some semantics here and splitting hairs. How casting female black Jesus undermine artistic vision and truth. Then we got exclusive, a record-breaking, what I say, breaking? It's like I tried to say breaking and burping at the same time or something like that. A record-breaking baby has been born from an embryo that's over 30 years old. All right, so an embryo gave birth to it? But anyway, that's worded kind of weird. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Former child star, Lil Tay. I don't think I remember who this person is. Lil Tay, sounds familiar, I don't know. Begins OnlyFans journey at 18 with $1 million earned right out of the gate. Man, okay. No, I'm not getting any ideas.
No.
Somali child rapist gets a light sentence from Minnesota court. I ain't gonna do it. I was gonna do the Minnesota with the Minnesota accent there.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't know, for some reason, yeah, I just feel cringe when I get ready to do that. Like, don't do that, so cringe. Minnesota court after. I'm not saying that the Minnesota accent is cringe or anything like that. I'm just saying when I do the accent, it's cringe to me. All right, so after Moss says he's a devoted family man. Leave me alone. I'm a family man. All right. Who's trying to figure out the new culture. All right. All right, so let's back it on up. Let's jump into what do we got here from Not the Bee. Talking about some New York Times having a while with this. Let's discuss this. What are the moral implications of this one, y'all?
Yeah.
Let's see what we can get into. Let's read a little bit of this article here. It seems according to this editorial, it seems like the New York Times is getting further and further out in left field the more time the time passes. I told y'all, man, hey, buckle up, man. Things are just going to get nuttier.
Yep.
And this stuff ain't new. We've been going through this stuff thousands of years, yo. We're just in a generation where we should know better, but we're repeating the same crazy stuff that we've been doing for thousands of years. We just have better technology to do it. You know? We recently told you about the shady practices the government discovered around organ donation. Yeah, like even things like what an organ donation with harvesting body parts and organs, Planned Parenthood. All right, so this stuff don't really surprise us, man. So the way things stand, doctors are pushing to call people dead before they're really dead in order to take their organs. Right on cue, the New York Times is here to tell us that harvesting organs from living patients is good. Good, actually. In fact, we're not going far enough. Yeah, I know y'all ain't surprised by this yet.
Yeah.
Guest essayist, Dr. I guess that's supposed to say doctor. Or is like doctors like with an S, like is it plural? Like are they
doctors?
Does that mean like double doctored or something like that, or you got a bunch of them just laying around?
There's a bunch of doctors in the article.
A bunch of doctors in there. All right, Sandeep Jahar, hope I said that correctly. Shahal Patel and Deanne Smith, all from North Hill in New York, think that we should redefine death. Think that we should redefine death so that they can cut those money-making, life-saving organs out of your chest, according to the editorial. And they say, the aforementioned doctors, we need to figure out how to obtain more healthy organs from donors while maintaining strict ethical standards. New technologies can help, but the best solution, we believe, is legal. Well, just as y'all, if I may, just as y'all want to redefine death, well, I reckon you want to redefine legal too.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and while you're at it, heck, why not redefine ethical? Yeah. How does the saying go? The field is open, or it's free for all. There you go. Free for all on defining things. We can redefine gender.
Yep.
Right? Hey, a person can be. Are you trans living?
Trans living.
Are you trans death? Are you fluid? Are you life fluid? You dead right now, right? Let's take them organs. Yeah. Right. So and then being brain dead, which is one way to be legally dead, and circulatory death is another. The problem is that organs die quickly and are useless shortly after this. While a growing demand for organs with an aging population, doctors are arguing that maybe we just, off a few people here and there for the common good. And then I think the essayists, the aforementioned essayists, say that fortunately there is a relatively new method that can improve the efficacy of donation after circulatory death. In this procedure, which is called normothermic regional perfusion, doctors take an irreversibly comatose donor off life support long enough to determine that the heart has stopped beating permanently. But then the donor is placed on a machine that circulates oxygen-rich blood through the body to preserve organ function. Okay, hey, yeah, sounds like sound technology. But your philosophy is what's not sound. You see what I'm saying? See, when y'all get in there and you start talking about redefining things, that's where we have our impasse. See, you just said that you want to broaden the definition of death. You want to be able to, be fluid. Like I said.
Yep.
And this is according to these globalists, these liberalists, these which I'm pretty sure these people are. Y'all want to be fluid with the definition thing to suit whatever, your narrative is, your sentiments are, and all that sort of stuff. So you just said that wow. How do you? You want to broaden the definition of death, and so which means broadening the definition of ethics. With this right here, where do you draw the line on what circulatory death is, or brain death? And that being said, that stuff seems to become subjective, and you're at the whim of whoever doctor who wants to make a name for themselves, or just for whatever their motivations might be, to be able to say that they've saved this life, but had the constitution to be able to pull the plug on this one. I don't know, man. It's kind of sketchy. Let's see what else it says in here. So they'll take you off life support just enough to confirm you're dead and that your heart can't beat, but keep your blood oxygen rich and then take your organs. But the essayists go on to say, but by artificially circulating blood and oxygen, the procedure can reanimate a lifeless heart. Some doctors and ethicists find the procedure objectionable because in reversing the stoppage of the heart, it seems to nullify the reason the donor was declared dead in the first place. I can dig that.
Yeah.
Is the donor no longer dead? They wonder.
That's a gray area.
Indeed. Now, when we talk about like this, people be growing like lab meat and stuff like that. What happened with? I thought we were making such strides with stem cell research and growing ears on mice and whichever. How is it that we're here where we're? I don't know. People they seem to like put so much stock in science, and it doesn't seem like science has really solved this sort of stuff. And don't get me wrong, man, because we're not poo-pooers of the sciences just because we're Christians. We appreciate the discovery of how God has engineered things. And we are talking about engineering here. But when you have people out there who, thumb their nose at God and act like science is going to be the redeemer or the salvation of all this sort of stuff, it's like, wow. Well, salvation how? By sacrificing multitudes of people to give life, to ration life to another few, you mean the technology isn't there where, like say for instance, I think a liver regenerates.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as I know, the liver regenerates, and you mean there isn't enough stem cell research going on to be able to harvest, or not harvest, but how can we say? I don't want to say regenerate. I don't think regenerate's the right word, but let's just say yield or render. Kidney? We're not there yet. Come on, doctors, scientists, pick up the pace, man. What's wrong with y'all?
Right.
But yeah, this thing of where it's like we want to hurry up and we're going through the redefining death, which means you're going to redefine ethics. You're going to have to redefine legalities, to suit whatever you guys need. What do you guys think? Is it
One Robbie says, could this be a way around assisted suicide? And that was one of my first thoughts too when I was reading this article. Yeah.
Great question. Now, but I guess the caveat to that though is that sure, we can stave off, now wait a minute. Okay, now when we talk about assisted suicide, stave off. Say that. Are we talking about the person who needs the transplant, or?
Probably, my thought was a person who basically wants to die, and we've got several states now and countries who are ready and willing to help people die if they're just, if they're depressed, like clinically depressed. Maybe they feel like they don't have any purpose in life, but this will give them purpose in death, so they'll be an organ donor. That was one of my first thoughts.
But not like, okay, well.
And they'll be happy to pump this oxygen-enriched blood through the donor after they've, I guess, been called dead.
Okay, and I'm really wanting to get down to a lot of implications of this question. So forgive me if I'm kind of like asking some dumb questions. I'm really trying to take a journey through the implications here. So a person who has suicidal ideation, right, is going to be a donor. Well, donating what?
Everything they can. Eyeballs, heart, kidneys.
Okay. And I know that sounds like a dumb question because of that, hey, you can't be a living heart donor or anything like that. But like, say, a kidney, a person can still live, with one kidney.
Yeah.
Now, which wouldn't be suicide.
True.
And it wouldn't give them a purpose in death, but maybe a purpose in life. It's like, look, man, if you don't value your life anymore, because the thing about with suicide, it's not that they don't want to live; they're settling.
Yeah.
They want to live. They just, it's like just life sucks, so they're settling on dying.
Yeah.
Like, people don't want to die. It's like, I want to live, but I'm just not. My life sucks. So they're settling for death. But if maybe in this having purpose, like, look, man, if you don't value your organs and stuff like that anymore, if you want to, hand them off to somebody else who would appreciate it. But I'm being, not trying to make light, but for real, it's like if that is your opinion on things, if you don't, rather than just offing your whole person, it's like, look, maybe if you don't value your life anymore, hey, well, let's give you a purpose.
Well, that makes me think of they do push people way down on the list who need organs, who abuse their bodies, who, if they're drug addicts or alcoholics, they've destroyed their liver, or they've smoked their lungs to death and like they need lung transplants. They put them at the end of the line because they've abused their body, unless if they're an actor or an actress.
Now, right, and now, y'all, I'm not offering this as a suggestion. Like I said, I'm just kind of rabbit holing here.
Yeah.
And please don't take it once again. I'm not trying to make light of suicide or anything like that, or trying to find like some sort of way to substantiate meaning to the life of a person with suicidal ideation by giving up organs that they don't value anymore. It's not about that. It's just like, let's just try to get to the root of the psychology of this.
Right.
And when I say psychology, I'm really talking about the soul.
Yes.
Right. So now, a person saying, okay, you know what? My life doesn't have meaning to me anymore. Right? I don't feel like I'm really living. I'd be better off dead. Okay? Let me do the world a favor. Or heck, maybe the world will appreciate me then. And whatever pain I'm carrying, I just can't take it no more. So you know what? Go ahead and take my organs. Now, so the word says there is no greater love than a person who would give their life for a friend. So if a person decides that I am going to donate my body, you don't have to wait until I die. I will go ahead and give my life right now for you to go ahead and harvest my organs and give them to people, to somebody who needs them. Now, is that person committing suicide? Or are they sacrificing their life so somebody else can have a chance at life? Which one would that be? Now, I'm not assuming to have a question. I'm just posing a question. I don't assume to have an answer for you. But maybe I would say, y'all, it might be one of those things that we might want to get ahead of.
Absolutely.
Might want to start having this conversation.
Regulations.
Yeah, because now, you know, and hey, full disclaimer, y'all, I haven't really even thought that, like, when you have countries that are practicing euthanasia, I mean, are those people, they're donors, right?
Good question. I would assume so.
I would think that
Canada loves euthanasia. We should look that up and see if they have an organ procurement system.
seems like it would be a given.
Yeah.
You know, they say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I want assisted suicide, and yeah, by all means, you know, probably one of the reasons why they encourage assisted suicide. But maybe that kind of answers our question, because at the end of the day, I guess that's really. See, okay, let me put it like this. Now, how about this? The person who has the suicidal ideation. The problem, I'd say the problem here is that they are motivated by not living anymore. That's the problem. They're not really motivated to make the contribution. They're not motivated. It's like that's a secondary thing. You see what I'm saying? It's like, look, my life doesn't have any meaning to me, or my life doesn't have any meaning to anybody else. I can't stand the way that I feel. I don't want to live anymore. See, that's their motivation. That motivation, unfortunately, eclipses the virtue of giving their organs. I don't think that can redeem them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It may be a good thing going out. It's like, look, you know, it's like, say for instance, like you're in the battlefield, right? I'm pretty sure most people in battlefield, they may try to tune it out because they want to be able to focus, because they really do want to go home. But the motivation is that they do want to go home. All right? And you know what? They want their compatriots to go home too.
Yeah.
So when that grenade drops in there, you know, I don't think it's so much of, you know, hey, I got a chance to die. It's like, no, I got a chance to make sure that my friend gets to go home to the kid that they didn't get to see, you know, see born. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they go through this kind of training to be able to have that sense of sacrifice, not that sense of suicide. The sense of sacrifice. Yeah. That's different. You know, and it's like, look, you know, you got people out there who try to, you know, ridicule the Bible, say, yeah, you just came to commit suicide. No, he didn't. He was a soldier.
Amen.
All right, he threw himself over the ultimate grenade. All right, let himself be taken prisoner so we could go free. It's totally different. So in this, you know, and once again, Robbie, thanks for the question, man. I think it's a, you know, something to implore, because this is kind of stuff that can be marketed.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, give your life meaning.
Yep.
Give your life meaning. You know, and give your organs to somebody who really needs them. If you have found that life is no longer worth living.
Yeah,
Well,
that's literally what these organ procurement organizations in Canada are. They're called Gift of Life networks.
Wow. It's the irony.
Yeah.
The irony, man. We'll give these people the gift of life by giving you the gift of death. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I think you guys get the gist of it. And yeah, that's one of the things that we want to, you know, be ahead of and keep in prayer, man. It's like, Lord, how do we navigate this one? And I mean, because, you know, the justification for death, man. This is thousands of years, y'all. We're here again. This stuff been going on for a long time, baby. That's not hyperbole when I say thousands of years. Come on, man. Y'all seen the scriptures. This kind of culture and occultism has been around for a long time. Sacrifices that are made, justifications that people, you know, make. You know, this stuff's been around for a long time.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else we got here. All right. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and dovetail onto this one. I don't know, for some reason this song gets like White Rabbit stuck in my head. and caterpillars sitting on mushrooms. All right, let's check it out. And don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm not poo-pooing it out the gate. You know. Oh, it is. Okay, it's kind of a video. I think there might be an article that goes with it, but if, the link is in there if you guys want to check out the video. Anyway, but what do you guys think? Okay, so basically what we have here is we're gonna have this biodegradable casket.
Yeah, they make this. It's a shell, right?
Okay.
Like they make the shell and they grow the fungus over it. And
There's
yeah,
a fungus
it's shaped
among
like
us.
a casket. Yes. I'm glad somebody put that in the chat. Tom put that in the chat.
Hey, be a really fun guy, right? Or a fun gal, and use one of these mushroom caskets. Be the real life of the party. Okay, so I don't mean this all this kind of stuff, man, is like got this kind of Soylent Green
Yes.
like vibe. Okay, so now when you're eating mushrooms, now you can think about anyway.
Ew.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't exactly object to it. I guess it depends on what the sentiment behind it is. I mean, in terms of like pumping people with formaldehyde and putting them in the ground and and things like that. It's like, yeah, what do we really need to do that?
Seems like a lot of work.
But okay, now composting. That's the thing. It's like, okay, so you're gonna take the body is going to be composted, right?
Yeah.
And then put into this coffin. And
Well, wait, what do you mean it's going to be compost?
yeah, that's what they do to the body, isn't it? They make a compost.
I thought they just put the body in the mushroom casket.
I thought so too, but I thought when I looked into the article, it looked like they make a compost, and that's what's laid into this.
Oh, I was confused. I thought they were talking about. We reported on it. There's a company in New York who will compost your loved one. I thought they were talking about that in the beginning of the article.
Okay.
And then here's another new method of burying your loved one. But I could be wrong. I need to reread it.
Yeah, maybe that's what I get for like maybe scheming over it too fast. I mean, okay, so if they take a body and they lay it into this biodegradable vessel, I assume that they're going to bury it 6 feet. Is that going to be enough, to, well, I guess, 6 feet, I guess is supposed to be ample. Let's say we go with what I originally thought. I thought what they do is that they compost the body. Do you guys know? Let me know if you guys know for sure.
I'm at the company's website who does this.
And of course, what do you guys think of the whole thing?
Practical information. It says it's made the Loop Living Cocoon, certified for traditional burials, natural burials, and cremations. The cocoon can be carried using the 6 integrated jute handles. It's made of upcycled hemp fibers and mushrooms, and it's grown in 7 days.
Interesting.
How is that possible?
Grown in 7 days. Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything about do you just put the body in there or not. It says interior lining, soft bed and pillow of moss as standard. So if it's a soft bed of moss, pillowy moss, do you just put the body in there?
Well, okay, so what they're saying that they're wanting to get away from the whole embalming thing.
Yes.
Right? Which would once again tell me that they must compost the body, because if you don't embalm the body, you know, you're gonna have to do this pretty quick. So it takes them 7 days to grow this thing.
Yeah.
If the body ain't embalmed, I guess you know, you might. And listen, I'm not that familiar with embalming methods and how long, you know, it's going to take for decomposition, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm assuming that, you know, upon
it says traditional burials. I think you're right, because the first thing we read was certified for traditional burials, natural burials, and cremations. So it must be you can put somebody with all the chemicals in them in this thing, and it's fine.
Okay.
It'll take care of it.
So now, what are the let's say, for instance, the spiritual implications of these things? Now, I reckon those who are doing this are motivated by motivated by their affinity for the earth. You know, there's idolatry in this, the idolization of the earth, and wanting to be, you know, these good stewards of the earth and do what's pleasing to the earth. And those things matter more than what is pleasing to God.
Yes.
Now, once again, I'm not saying that I object to this. I think it's great in terms of you know, returning the body to the earth and you know, the body you know, feeding the plant life, and then the plant life feeding the animal life and things like that. I don't exactly object to it. It's just, you know, where is one coming from with this stuff?
Yeah.
You know, what spirit? Like, say, for instance, you know, one may ask, well, why would God himself to object to something like this? Well, the Lord wasn't buried in a mushroom casket. Yeah. And, you know, it's just the same way the Lord wasn't cremated. You know, the method upon which the Lord was put away is, you know, contrary to a lot of ways that people think that they find some sort of closure or some sort of spiritual meaning in the way. And it's people's prerogative on how they're going to do these things. And I'm not saying that if you put somebody in a mushroom cactus or casket and put them away, I'm saying that you're committing a sin. I'm not saying that at all. I wouldn't think that it's sinful to do. I'm just asking, where are people coming from with it? Where does their affections lie? Where does their soul lie as far as those things doing? Are you doing it for? Are you doing it out of love for the earth, or are you doing it out of love for God? And if you're doing it out of love for God, where does he say, you know, that something like this would be squared up with it? And I reckon even if you are a Christian, it's like, hey, you know, I believe in, you know, in the Lord, and you know, and if this is a way that a Christian would want to be put away, I don't think it's going to keep them from getting into heaven. You know what I'm saying?
I'd have to agree with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have a, you know, pagan tendencies and your heart is like with worshiping the earth.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
So Robbie's kind of leading to that in the chat as well, as long as it's not like Wicca influenced thought.
Thank you. Yeah, that's, I mean, because there are things that people can do. It just depends on what your attitude with it. Like, say, for instance, hey, making music. You can make music honoring the fact that God gave you talent, and you can do music that's either about him or not apart from him, or you could take the talent that God gave you and you can go ahead and worship the devil with it, you know, or glorify yourself with it. You know, but that doesn't make music itself the sin any more than, you know, being buried in this fashion. And yeah, I think it's innovative, clean,
Yes.
you know, if you will. If a person's like, look, man, I don't want to take up space. You know, I've left my mark. You know, I've you know, and I've done what I'm going to do in life. You know, and now that, you know, in death, just go ahead and, you know, put me, you know, in the ground that, you know, we were taken from, and let my soul go ahead and be with the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because no matter what, whether a person has a grave or an urn or whichever, you you know, the Lord's going to put it all back together anyway, whether a person was, you know, at sea or on land or in space, or, you know, the Lord is going to put it all back together, regardless of which. But like I said, you know, just be mindful of where, you know, examine Scripture, study Scripture, grab it by the Holy Spirit, and examine it by the Holy Spirit. Just make sure that, you know, your heart, your soul, you know, that is your first motivation, right?
Tom Jensen says, I demand a separation of earth and state. Hear, hear.
The soul state. Yes, sir. Let's see. What else we got here? An effort to paint Sydney Sweeney, oh Lord, as unattractive, Libs teach American men. She is a Republican who shoots guns and works on classic cars. Well, yeah, I guess to some men that would be very unattractive. You know, you don't want a woman, you know, who could shoot you if you're trying to, you know, sexually assault her.
Yes, that's true.
So, yeah, I guess that would be an attractive thing. Okay, so yeah, let's back up a little bit. This, you know, because this Sydney Sweeney thing's been going on for a minute, and I haven't really weighed in on it much. This great genes thing. Okay, y'all know my stance on the whole white supremacy thing, white privilege, and systemic racism. You know that it is a very, as I've been saying, it's a very real thing. It's just a point of where people understand that it's coming from. Mm-hmm. Okay? You got liberals trying to generalize, you know, white supremacy thing like it's just a thing that white people have. No, that's a thing that that's who Democrats have always been. They've been the party of white supremacy. That's just who they are. Why you got these Republicans out there who try to act like there's no such thing, and that's why they have such a hard time beating Democrats. That's why Democrats get away with so many things, because you got Republicans constantly exonerating them half-wittedly. There's no white supremacy, there's no... It's like, dude, well, what do you think Democrats are? And here's another case of it. Because when you got these white Democrats, these liberals out there, trying to act like they're the champions for us lowly black folks, and making sure that we're not offended. We don't want to offend the blacks because this beautiful white woman, oh my God, they can't handle that. They can't handle that. We have to protect them from her. You know, I was like, wow, you really are a white supremacist.
Yes. That
you think so lowly of us that we can't. And don't get me wrong, y'all, because there are black folks who can't handle this. Right? They're sissies too. You know, it's like that's what they want black folks to be the superlative of, is a superlative of sissyhood, right? We're the biggest victims on the planet, right? Anything can offend us. You know, so insecure about being black and, you know, and what white folks are doing. It's sad. Okay, we're even a commercial where, you know, it's this woman says she's got great genes. Yeah, she does. So what? Genes with the J and genes with a G. Huh? Okay. I don't know. For me, I'm not so insecure to say that, yeah, she's attractive. You know, okay, good. You know, good for her. Right? And then you got the white liberals, being the white supremacists that they are, have to act like they're the most virtuous ones to make sure that they're better than other white people, because we're not that way. We don't think we're better than black people. We don't think we have better genes and all that sort of stuff, even though we know that if it wasn't for us, black people wouldn't be able to do anything. Mm-hmm. You know, they need, in order to be educated, they have to have us. You know, and all that sort of, in order to have representation, they have to have us. It's like, no, you know. But Sydney Sweeney, this kind of insecurity that has been brought out, you know, with this kind of stuff. It's like, wow, to say you got great genes. She didn't say I have great white genes.
No.
She just said she has great genes. How does that make that racist? You know, hey, believe it or not, folks, people have told me that I got great genes. Yeah, you know, like say for, you know, like my great grandmother lived to be 114 years old. I reckon she had great genes.
Yeah.
Is that racist? You know, and she lived by herself.
Amazing.
Okay, she lived by herself. You know, she was one of those women. You know, when they get that century mark, and you get a letter from the president. You know, she got her letter from Ronald Reagan congratulating her for being, you know, making over 100 years old. You know, and Spry. You know, she'd be walking down the street. You know, and one of her kids or grandkids, you know, that you see her walking down the street, Grandma, you need a ride, and she'd know I'm in a hurry. She was one of those. All right. So, great genes. Me, man, I just turned 53 years old. I got people still telling me, man, you look like you're in your 30s. Oh, is that racist? I guess praise be to God, I got some decent genes. So, you know, this right here, this insecurity that is coming out, you know, because of this, and not just insecurity, but making people feel like they're supposed to be insecure about it. And that's what Democrats do, y'all. That's part of the systemic racism that the mainstream Republicans think doesn't exist.
Yeah.
See, they don't have that kind of savvy, man. They're so full of pride that they can't, in the country, to try to act like America has no blemish. That by doing that, they're making sure that America stays in this state of stupidity with this race narrative. Yeah, call it what it is. Yeah, they don't see how the invisible empire, who the Democrats are, keeps this stuff going right in plain sight. So, but, and even right this right here, as ridiculous as it is, it's not really going to hurt the Democrats, y'all. Once again, you know, as I keep saying 1,000 times, you know, Republicans, they're dependent on Democrats doing stupid things to a point where people, you know, they have to wait for Democrats to make things so bad.
Yes.
Before Republicans look like a viable choice.
Right.
It's not like Republicans can really sell their ideas and all that. They suck at selling them. Man, what the crap happened after Rush Limbaugh? Remember Rush Limbaugh used to be able to say, hey, the Democrats can't compete in the arena of ideas. Yeah. He used to be able to say that. And but before he passed away, even that stuff was starting to not be true. Right? It's like, I don't know what happened. And I don't know if it's coincidence or what, but it's like, man, when Rush Limbaugh passed, it was almost like he was kind of forgotten. Yeah. I don't hear his name anymore. And the reason why I brought it up is because we talk about the theater of ideas. Yes. Republicans don't really talk about ideas anymore. Republicans talk about just how stupid and how bad Democrats are. 100%. That's all they can talk about. And they're getting more and more, they're getting to like how bad black people are. Oh, definitely. Black people are just so bad, right? But why? Because you got most mainstream Republicans have become, the Democrats have pushed Republicans into thinking that white people are so bad that Republicans are in a state of defensiveness where the only way that they can really make themselves look good is by pointing out how bad black people look. Black people are just so bad, right? That's and what? Once again, because Republicans suck at selling. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, because you could sell how great being a Republican is, whatever nationality you are, but they just don't. Yeah, they don't sell it. Yeah, they suck at it, and so they're dependent on trying to point out how stupid Democrats look, which makes them look stupid because once again we have to wait until Democrats make things so bad until Republicans are a viable choice. But you see Republicans, that's the narrative now. It's like, say, for instance, even if I'm irrelevant to mainstream Republicans because I don't give them anything to talk about. You see what I'm saying? I don't fit the things that Republicans have grievances about. You know, with the music, with the narrative. Hey, I'm not foul mouthed. I'm a Christian according to what the Bible says, not, you know, this woke kind of Christian or whichever. You know, and like I said, with the music that I do, they'll go ahead and they want to go ahead and let you know about all the foul things that black folks are doing with music and all that sort of stuff. And that's the stuff that they put out there to make themselves look better as white people. See, we're not bad. We're not, you know, we don't have anything to be guilty about. Those black people, they have stuff to be guilty about and all that sort of stuff. But hey, well, if you guys are really turned off about what black folks are doing, well, here's some stuff that I'm doing. It doesn't do it. Is it? No. We want to talk about them because by talking about them, it makes us look better, right? That's where they are.
Yep.
That's where the mainstream Republican Party is now. And they're there by Democrat design. Right? So, but all this stuff, y'all, it's made for this. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Democrats, they know what to do this, and it's just only making Republicans dig a deeper hole.
Yeah.
You know, they think that this is a victory. They really do. They think this is a victory.
She's been invited to the White House.
Yeah. They think this stuff is a victory. It's like, it's not sustainable, y'all. And it's what you think is a political victory. That stuff is not sustainable. Not sustainable. Not without the cultural groundwork and, of course, the spiritual groundwork.
Yep.
So, anyway, you would think after we've been doing this for the decline of the Republican Party has been for like 30 years in the making.
Absolutely.
You know, at least 30 years, and they haven't learned anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roland Jones says, Zoe and Mrs. Rachel, I'm praying for patience as a black conservative. I'm really tired of both sides' stupidity. Like Zoe said, what good does it do to worship Trump as a savior for the U.S. as a political win, but losing the culture to the point of no return?
Thank you. That's right. That's right. And y'all definitely, I'm happier that Trump is in office than Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. You know, we're not anti-Trump. But a lot of the things that are doing is you're taking a lot of bitter with the sweet, okay? You know, and I've been given this counsel before you know, Trump had the election stolen from him. And I was saying how? It's like, dude, if you're not careful, if you don't knock it off with this stuff, if your voters keep being led around the nose by the Democrats, your presidency will be taken away from you. I was saying this before Biden stole the White House. And I was saying how it was going to happen. And then I've been saying how it happened. But nope. You know, mainstream Republicans, they just want to focus on all these bad things. And I'm not saying that the bad things aren't real. You know, but at the end of the day, it ain't going to help you. It's going to make the racial narrative worse. Racial, quote unquote, racial narrative worse. All right, and while you're at it, you might want to stop giving a platform to the token Negroes that you guys, you know, they're not helping you either. Trust me, they're not helping you. It's not making you look any better. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, how about this one? Christ is not ours to reshape. Okay, I agree with that, but rather ours to proclaim. Okay, who are you? Who are you? And how casting a female, black Jesus, undermined artistic vision and truth. Okay, so you got the article there, and this has been, you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about this already. They cast this woman who looks like, she reminds me of Nosferatu or something like that, man. I don't know. She got long. I don't know if that was kind of like Photoshop to make her hands.
Just fell out laughing when you said that last night.
You know, she's got long hands, and I don't know. She that peanut head. I thought I had a peanut head, man. She, you know, and but anyway, she fiendish looking. So, and that's who they cast to play Jesus. All right. Christ is not ours to reshape, but you did for this production. You did. You've made an idol. You've assumed that you've taken something and you've made and reshaped it to fit your sentiments. Whatever your supposed artistic vision is and your worldview, and all those sorts of things. You have facilitated that with this casting. Okay? Jesus is not yours to proclaim. I'll tell you why. So say, for instance, you got this theme, this production that has this Jesus theme. The Lord is not for you to proclaim. You are not somebody that the Lord knows. Okay?
Very true. Yeah.
He doesn't know you. The Lord says, you're going to be calling, you'll talk about how you prayed to me and was casting out demons and all of a sudden the Lord says, man, depart from me. Get away from me. I don't know you. All right. So Jesus is not yours to proclaim at all. You've taken his name in vain. You've created an engraven image, and you've assigned the name Jesus to him. Jesus is like, I don't play that. I don't know you. Right? Yeah. You talk about how you cast it out. You ain't casted out no demons. You haven't even cast out your own. Y'all are driven by demons. So I don't know you. I am not yours to proclaim. Jesus, and y'all, once again, y'all, this is part of, please understand, this is part of systemic racism. This is meant to drive resentment, particularly from your right-leaning Christians. I'm a right-leaning Christian, but I'm talking about your white
evangelicals.
Right, yeah, your white evangelical. This is meant to drive resentment from them. Y'all constantly being bombarded with this sort of stuff. You start getting resentment. They're tired of this stuff.
Yeah.
And who can blame them? But that's why it is. It's the white Christians, man, who founded the Republican Party in the first place. And why did they do it? Because they wanted to put an end to systemic racism that was being driven by the Democrat Party, the white privilege, the white supremacy. That's why the Republican Party was founded. Christian abolitionists says we're ending this. All right? Republicans today have long forgotten about that. They're far away from that. Democrats have been they do stuff like this to drive the resentment. Okay? This kind of shock value. So, Black Jesus. And Black Jesus, that's not a new thing. You know, you've had the Afrocentrics trying to claim Jesus for their nation, you know, for a long time, right? That's just as idolatrous as a white Jesus. So we've been raised seeing Jesus as blonde haired and blue eyed and fair skinned and all that sort of stuff. That is an engraven image. All right. The Bible gives you the profile of what Jesus looked like.
Yeah.
All right. If you study it, you'll get a pretty good picture of what Jesus looks like. So, but people have ignored the scriptures and decided that, well, we want to make Jesus, we want him to be very European looking, even though Jesus was an Asiatic Jew. But the blonde hair, the blue eyes, the fair skin, that you don't get that out of reading the scriptures any more than you'll get Jesus having dark black skin, like an Ethiopian, right, or dark skin, which could take on different in terms of being of Ethiopian descent. That skin color can have different shades, sure, from dark to light, to lighter brown or whichever. But to make Jesus out to be, to fit that profile, once again, would be to be ignoring the scriptures. All right, Jesus. If you examine the name of Adam, Jesus is the second Adam. If you examine the name of Adam, you go into the metadata, you will get the complexion. The complexion is ruddy. You look in the meaning of his name, and you examine the roots of that name. You're gonna get things like ground, blood, man, of course. You're also gonna get ruddy in complexion. Okay, gives you so Adam wasn't black, Adam wasn't white. It tells you that his complexion was ruddy. King David. All right, King David. The word tells you flat out that King David's complexion was ruddy. He was bright-eyed, ruddy. He was beautiful. Okay, there's another archetype of Christ. Christ being the son of David. Not only is the second Adam, he's the son of David. Both are described as ruddy complected. Jesus most likely was a ruddy colored man. And then you got the different profiles, the archetypes. You got Moses, Samson. Jesus was long haired. He was built for battle. Joseph, Joshua. You got all these archetypes of Christ that you could just go ahead and piece together, and it gives you an image of what Christ would have looked like. Well built. Built for battle, long haired, long beard, ruddy colored, right? A statuesque man. Even in the New Testament, it tells you that he grew up strong, right? Full of wisdom. Okay, so but you got these, we want squishy Jesus, holding a lamb and long hair and a feminine. Oh no, Jesus was a man's man. All right, so all that to say, this right here, casting a female, no, goes against everything. The profile of Jesus is quite starkly given. And once again, like I said, y'all, he was hung on the cross naked. So you can see that he was a man, because God knows that people are going to try to be fluid about his gender. God already knew that. He already knew. Okay? His pronouns are he. He makes that very clear in the Word of God. All right? And like I said, when Jesus was hung, two things were the utility of him being hung naked. All right? Now, they hung him in shame, but God already knew that, and he was going to use that to give you this information. When I came to you, I would come to you as a man, and I've always identified as a male. Before I even came to you in the body, I'm the Father, right? I'm the Father of the universe. I'm the Father of all. Okay? And two, I came to you through the line of Judah. I am the one who came to you who was there before Abraham. I'm the one who gave the law of the circumcision to Abraham, and who would start establishing the nation that I would come to you through. My insignia is in the circumcision, and you can see that I am circumcised. All right, there's no imposter being hung up here, because I know that there would be narratives that would, like, say, for instance, in Islam, an imposter. Now, I got all that bases covered. There's a Jew being hung here, okay? And also because, and y'all know that Rome made it illegal for the Jews to carry out executions. And even though Jews would do it anyway,
yeah,
they was trying to stone Jesus, But in this public execution, nobody can say that, hey, they weren't allowed to. That's not true, because they weren't allowed to execute people. Well, that's why they had the Romans do it. All right, Romans did it, and in that fashion, you saw everything that you need to see about Jesus that was told to you in the Old Testament, what was going to happen to him. All right? So, and what was going to happen to him. Not female Jesus, not female black Jesus. Jesus is from the line of Shem. Okay? He is not from the line of Cush. He is not Ethiopian. He's not a Cushite. He's a Shemite. All right? From Shem to Eber, which would become the Hebrews, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob. All right? And chiefly in the line of Israel is going to be the royal line of Judah, priestly line of Levites. Yeshua is our king and our high priest. All right? This does not make him black, considering the genealogy that is well recorded in here. He does not come from the line of Cush. He comes from the line of Shem, and then from the nation of Israel. So trying to make him out to be that's isn't that like the sin of cultural appropriation as far as y'all go?
Yeah.
Y'all have misappropriated his gender. You've misappropriated his nation. You've misappropriated his whole doctrine. So I pray that y'all receive the Lord's peace and truth. Please repent.
Yes.
Because the wrath ain't gonna be, oh man.
So some were arguing that where's the line between, artistic freedom and doing something like this, casting? There is no line. You can do it if you want to. You want to make this production, you go right ahead. But we have the right to tell you that you're wrong. Amen. Yes.
we have the right to encourage people. Like say, for instance, would I be one to say, hey, you all need to censor this and fine them and wage penalties on it? No, I wouldn't say that at all. I would just encourage the free market to be like, y'all don't really want to give these people your money. I have the right to do that.
Yeah, speaking of the free market, there was no problem with the shack and the black woman playing, was it God?
Yeah.
There was no problem with that. White evangelicals went in droves, and that movie made a lot of money, and I didn't hear any complaints about that. But now, since I think Republicans have been gaslit for so long.
Yeah, once again, and by Democrat design, Democrats have been just beating us, just raising it. Now, the resentment is there, just like you were saying, with the shack, it wasn't really such a big issue, except for, I mean, doctrinally.
Right, yeah. It was a mess.
It was a mess. But the thing is, look who they cast to play God. It's not so much that they cast a black woman to play God, which is totally out of step with Scripture. Totally out of step.
Yeah.
I don't think it did anything really it didn't do anything to make God more relatable. If it made God more relatable, it only made more relatable to a false God.
Yes.
All right? It's a false relatability, really. But the woman that they cast to play God, I mean, heck, she's an actress who, I think she's the same actress. She's in a movie with Billy Bob Thornton. Mm-hmm. You know, where I think she played a prostitute, you know, who Horton would visit every now and then to sodomize.
Yeah.
You know? And that was like part of the comedy. It's like, yeah, I played a prostitute who likes to facilitate bad Santa's fetish for sodomy. And then they cast her to play God. You know, I don't know. I kind of have an issue with that.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So, and this is what, you know, this is what makes for great entertainment for a lot of people who consider themselves Christians. You know, while we're starving to try to get, you know, our production company off the ground.
Yeah.
You know, that's just, forgive me for my moment of butthurt. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, in terms of artistic liberty, I mean, I'm not saying that people can just do whatever they want. I mean, because, you know, there's definitely a line to cross as far as that goes. I mean, talk about then snuff flicks, I guess, should be legal.
Yeah.
You know, your whatever. Let's say, let me put it like this: your art really it can't compromise. It can't force something onto somebody else or force an expense onto somebody else, per se. Whether that expense be, you know, wealth or health. Mm-hmm. But in this, the line is basically where the free market draws it. You know, it's like what we can do is we can get in there and say why this is an abomination. It is an abomination of media. Yeah. All right. And we can call it for what it is and encourage people to say, look, man, y'all don't want to give patronage to this kind of stuff. If you want to, that's your prerogative, but you know, you're being led to something false, you know, willingly. You don't want to do that. Let's see what else we got here. A record-breaking baby has been born from an embryo that's over 30 years old. When the kid is born, will he look 30 years old? Remember that was like the Inquirer, like in the 80s or something like that, and there was that kid who was only like 9 years old, but he looked like he was 90. Yeah, I remember that. So let's take a look at this really quick. The embryos were created in 1994, while the expectant father was still a toddler. While the expectant father was still a toddler, and donated via Christian Embryo Adoption Agency. And this is like some
sci-fi,
some Looper, Looper kind of stuff. Yeah. Hopefully it'll make a little bit more sense as we go along. A baby born over the weekend holds the new record for the oldest baby. Thaddeus Daniel Pierce who arrived on July 26, developed from an embryo that had been in storage for 30 and a half years. We had a rough birth, but we are doing well now, says Lindsay Pierce, his mother. He is so chill. Interesting choice of words.
Right?
I've been chilling for a while.
Yeah, for 30 years.
So, literally. And we are in awe that we have this precious baby. Lindsay and her husband, Tim Pierce, who live in London, Ohio, adopted the embryo from one who had it created in 1994. She says her family and church family think it's something like from a sci-fi movie.
Yes.
The baby has a 30-year-old sister, she has. Tim was a toddler when the embryos were created. It's been pretty, okay.
So see, mom and dad who adopted the embryo, they're like 30, 32 years old. So they were toddlers when this embryo was created.
Yeah. Wow. So it's been pretty surreal, says Linda Archard, 62, who donated the embryo. It is hard to believe. 3 little hopes. The story dates back in the early 1990s. Our kid had been trying and failing to get pregnant for 6 years. She and her husband decided to try IVF, a fairly new technology at the time. People were unfamiliar with it, says Archard. A lot of people were like, what are you doing? They did it anyway, and in May 1994, they managed to create 4 embryos. One of them was transferred to Linda's uterus. It resulted in a healthy baby girl. I was so blessed to have a baby, Arkin said. The remaining 3 embryos were cryopreserved and kept in a storage tank. That was 31 years ago. The healthy baby girl is now a 30-year-old woman who has her own 10-year-old daughter, but the other 3 embryos remain frozen in time. Arkin originally planned to use the embryos herself. I always wanted another baby desperately, she says. I called them my 3 little hopes. Her then husband felt differently. She said Arcade went on to divorce him, but she won custody of the embryos and kept them in storage. Still hopeful she might use them one day, perhaps with another partner. That meant paying annual storage fees, which increased over time and ended up costing Arcade around $1,000 a year, she said to her. It was worth it. I always thought it was the right thing to do, she said. Things changed when she started going through menopause, she said. She considered her options. She didn't want to discard the embryos or donate them for research. And she didn't want to donate them to another family anonymously. She wanted to meet the parents and any resulting babies. It's my DNA. It came from me. And it's my daughter's siblings, she says. Then she found out about embryo adoption. This is a type of embryo donation in which other donors and recipients have a say in whom they place their embryos with or adopt them from. It is overseen by agencies, usually explicitly religious ones, that believe an embryo is morally equivalent to a born human. Arcade is Christian. There are several agencies that offer these adoption services. Hold on a second. Okay, this article may get a little on the long side, but I think you guys get the point if you guys want to check out the rest of it. And it raises the question. Now, you know, once that egg is fertilized, y'all, you've created human life. That's why our Constitution says, you know, or not our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence, which our Constitution supports, right, in terms of what our rights are and in terms of our right to life. It specifically uses the word created. It doesn't say born equal.
Yes.
Right? We're not born equal. We're created equal. Right? We could be born in different statuses and circumstances and things like that. But how we're created, we're all created the same way. The marriage of the male seed to the female egg. And once that marriage happens, you know, you got a human life. So with these, which raised the question, you know, with these embryos, their rights. If you fertilize this egg and you've got an embryo, and you discard it.
Yeah.
Well, you've discarded a human life, and didn't take into consideration them having say. As a matter of fact, you justified it by saying, well, they can't say anything. So since they can't say anything, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and make the decision for them. You made a judgment, right, to just discard them. Now, for people who want to, I think I can dig where this woman is coming from. She paid the fee.
Yeah.
If a person is gonna do IVF, and y'all, we're not trying to judge here, but remember, y'all, if a person fertilizes, has an egg fertilized, you've already started making a judgment.
Yeah.
So before anybody accuses us of being a judgment about our opinion on it, you've made it a judgment, and that judgment ends up resulting in the death of those embryos. You've like, okay, you've got the child that you wanted, and the judgment is the other ones can be discarded.
Yeah, remember we did a news article years back, and maybe it was, I just gave it to you to read, and it was, there was a company in California, and a bunch of people had stopped paying their storage fees, so they had like thousands of little embryos that they were like, no, we're not gonna, we're not receiving payments, so we're gonna throw them out. Wow. And Christians intervened via a court process to have the right to have a burial for these embryos that were going to just be thrown in the biohazard trash. And I'm pretty sure they won, and they were allowed to have burials.
Wow. Yeah,
that's how serious it gets. That's what we're talking about. These are lives.
They're human lives, y'all. It's
they're not biohazard.
When you talk about these people who, these people who are pro-abortion, but we want to be a voice for the voiceless. Huh. And it's like, okay, well, why are y'all so callous about embryos, and the fetus? Why so callous about that? What was I saying here? Now, like where she's coming from, I would say she did it the right way. If you're I take it's going to take a few embryos. It's going to take a few trials. I would say if a person wants to have children that urgently, all right, if the desire to have children is that much, I think a person really should assume all the responsibility that comes with it. I don't think it's right to, okay, we're gonna do an IVF, and we're gonna have you're gonna fertilize X amount of eggs to do it. I think that you should be prepared to assume the cost. Okay, prepared to assume the cost of what it's going to take to store those lives that you have brought, right? That is, you be prepared to pay that yearly fee. Yep. Pay it, because you know why? Them's your kids.
Exactly.
They are your children. All right, you wanted it. You don't pay that for it. You go pay. Now let's say that if it's $1,000 a year, it was $1,000 a year at the time. You got off light.
Oh yeah, in California, it's very expensive, which is why people stop paying their fees.
But the thing is, when you have kids, how much you think they gonna?
That's true.
You're really gonna be paying
the $300,000 per child.
Come on now, you got off light just paying the storage fee.
Yep. But
they're your kids. All right, you want children? Assume the full responsibility of it, even if they're at the embryonic stage. Still your kids. Do what you got to do. Take care of them. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think that's a better approach. But you got people that I just want to have a kid no matter what, and then they'll have they got the kid that they wanted, and the rest of the kids, they got their successful gestation and birth. And the rest of them, we can just go, I don't want to pay a fee for it. Those are your kids too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think what this woman did was honorable and responsible.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah. Kudos to her.
What else we got?
And this child is going to be born already having a sibling, which is kind of a blessing, you know?
And a sibling, well, that's what, like 30?
30. Yep.
Yeah, sibling / babysitter. Let's see. And former child star, Lil Tay. Maybe you guys, I guess I've been under a rock.
She's a rapper, so we don't know who she is, and probably nobody in our audience would. Unless if you have grandkids who are into her.
Let's see. Oops. Hit the wrong link.
Well, she was a rapper. Now she's an
OnlyFans.
adult film star.
Okay. Look at her just licking money.
Yep. Gross. Didn't anybody teach her?
I've not, maybe it'll say what she played in. Former child star Lil Tay reportedly pulled in over $1 million just 3 hours after launching her OnlyFans account. The influencer posted a snapshot of her earnings on X and added a caption where she claimed that she had broken the previous record set by rapper Bad Bobby. Bad Babby? I don't know.
Oh, Bad Baby.
Bad Baby. Okay.
Yes.
I
like your name better though.
Bob Bobby. Baba Booey. Y'all remember that one? Since sharing the revelation, Lil Tay has faced criticism from numerous social media users. The influencer earned over $3 million within 3 hours. Let's see. Lil Tay has revealed she made over $1 million within just 3. Okay, why does it keep saying that? The teenager first rose to fame at an early age and has seemingly ensured she remains in the spotlight by opening an account on the adult platform. Taking to X, Lil Tay shared a screenshot of her earnings along with the caption, "Not bad for 3 hours. We broke the F out of that OnlyFans record." The image showed her total earnings listed as $1 million something, with 500,000 something, 79 coming up from subscription alone. As part of the earnings, Lil Tay also received over $26,000 in tips and nearly $490,000 for messages. Although OnlyFans has yet to confirm it, Lil Tay appears to have surpassed the previous top earning debut set by Bad Bobby in April 2021. At the time, the rapper earned over $1 billion in just under 6 hours. Lil Tay reveals she was inspired by Sydney Sweeney and Sabrina Carpenter. Wow. So does Sydney Sweeney, does she have an OnlyFans or something like that?
I don't think so. The sex positiveness and the body positivity, however you say it.
All right. Let's see. And on TikTok, Lil Tay previously, so where is it? What is this child star? What's she been a star of?
She was a rapper.
Oh, okay.
She, I guess she teamed up with Jake Paul, Diplo, which I don't know who that is. I've heard of the name. And Bad Baby. I don't know who that is either. But
is she 17 still?
no, the reason why she's in the news is because right when she turned 18, midnight 01, she set up her OnlyFans and was like, everybody come look at me. I'm basically like gonna be naked and doing stuff in front of the camera. And you guys can all be the first to see me right when I turn 18. And it worked.
Okay.
She made over $1 million in 3 hours. So right when she turned 18, and people are like, basically they're just kind of like, you're kind of trying to lure like a pedophilia feel for yourself.
Sure.
You know, with this.
Yeah, and I bet that money came from all sides, unfortunately. And yeah, it's very telling of what the culture is like. You know, this
Absolutely.
This is money. You know, and and a lot of this money coming from those people who patronize the Me Too movement.
Yes.
You know, and
she talks about it. Yeah, misogyny. She talks about that in this article. I'm trying to find the quote.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Just ridiculous.
They literally, I think this is right here. They are literally my top inspiration. And honestly, for anybody that doesn't like them and are crapping on them and doesn't think they are inspirational, you need to check your misogyny.
Yes.
She's kind of barking up the wrong tree here. The misogynists are the ones who are giving you money.
Yes.
Yeah.
She just doesn't understand that.
The objective, those, these so-called, men who are all about women's rights and stuff like that. No, they're the ones who are basically, playing with themselves while they're sending you money.
Yeah. As you turn 18 in front of the camera.
Yeah. These are your objectifiers.
Yeah.
These are your toxic males.
Yes.
That's who these people are. All right. And there's lots of them out there. And, and you are a stumbling block to them. Well, I mean, they're already stumbling, but you're bait.
True.
You're emboldening them to be, perverts.
Yes.
So, that's where our. Well,
and she says, she stated that their critics, meaning Sweeney and this carpenter chick, were individuals who are haters and don't want women to be able to express themselves.
this is how you want to express yourself?
Yeah, right.
You cheap. I mean, wow. I mean, the irony is, by being cheap,
Yep, that's true.
She got paid.
Yep.
You got paid by being cheap. You cheapened yourself. And this is what you have. I mean, obviously you took off your clothes, and I don't know what you're doing when you took off your clothes, which seems to be more interesting than what you were able to do as a rapper.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So I mean, you can boast in your rap career, I guess, but at the end of the day, I guess really all the people who was just watching you rap, all they really wanted you to do is take your clothes off.
Exactly.
That's what they was tuning in waiting for, right? So at the end of the day, whatever talent that I guess you have is not really that interesting. And this is, and so you resolve to this, to cheapen yourself. You cheapened yourself to get paid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this is what you want to do to express yourself, go ahead. And we shall express ourselves. You cheapened yourself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Yeah, it's just sad.
You've gotten more attention than you deserve out of me. Last but not least, y'all. Well, actually, this is pretty least. Somali child rapist. I bet he liked whoever this child rapist is. I'm pretty sure he liked your video, Lil Tay.
Yes.
Probably wishes you would have done it when you were younger, but
True.
he was probably one of those people watching your video.
Yep.
Says he gets a light sentence from Minnesota. Well, there's not much surprise there. After Moss says he's a devoted family man who's trying to figure out new culture. All right. What kind of devotion does this person show to his family? Right. You guys have a very different idea of what devotion is, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
And you're trying to figure out this new culture. And that, I don't blame you. Now, are you trying to figure out this new culture because you come from a culture where, raping kids is okay? Like, wait, in my culture, man, this kind of stuff is all right. If I want to go ahead and have sex with a 12-year-old girl, nobody got nothing to say about it.
Isn't it even in their hadith? What's that part where the little boys are like fresh pearls? Or is that the Quran?
Okay, now with the child that he raped, was it a little boy or a little girl?
Little girl.
Okay, little girl.
But I'm just saying children in general. It's okay with...
Now the reward, the little boys who are like pearls of perpetual freshness.
Yes, ew.
Served by little boys of perpetual freshness, right? Yeah. That's in their doctrine. Now, but this right here, if he's thinking, well, heck, man, in my culture, this kind of stuff is okay. Women and little girls, they don't, their rights.
He literally abducted her from her backyard and brought her to his car and raped her. So I guess that's okay in Somalia.
Yeah, I mean, they're second-class citizens.
Yeah.
We do with them whatever we want. That's just our culture, right? Or And he's trying to like, what's the problem? Or he might be looking at our culture and be like, once again, what's the problem? Y'all sexualize 12-year-old girls all the time.
Yes.
How am I the bad guy? Hey, didn't this girl, she just turned 18, she got $1 million for taking off her clothes and doing whatever.
Yep.
You know, y'all transition. You allow kids to determine whether to make sexually determinations at 3 years old and start giving them play. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out your culture because y'all seem to be just as much as obsessed with sex as I am. You know, y'all have programs like Cuties, and you have clothes with juicy on the bottom of and all that sort of. You market all this sexualization in kids and all that sort of stuff. Where am I going wrong? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
I think that's a good defense, actually. Now that I'm hearing you.
You know, yeah, I'm trying to figure out your culture. So, yeah, maybe in the Minnesota court he does have a case. You know.
Well, clearly he did.
Anyway.
What you were saying though about, you know, trying to figure out our culture and looking at the women in this culture. This is the same county where my aunt lives, and her friends. You cannot take a cab if you are out with your girlfriends. You can't take a cab at night because it's all Somali drivers, and they will either refuse you because you're a woman out at night, or they'll dump you. They'll literally dump you to punish you, like on the side of a road. Her and her girlfriends have had that happen multiple times, so now she has they have to pick a driver who's gonna drive them around because of these Somali men and how they treat the women.
Wow. It's like,
this is Minnesota.
Yeah. Treat women is like, well, you can't be out at night. Why not? Because you'll be treated badly. You're treating me badly right now.
Right.
See, that's my point. I'm out. Or maybe to teach you a lesson, get in the car and I'll drive you someplace where you can be picked up by some Somali men and they'll treat you badly. Next time you'll listen. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for entertaining or humoring me by listening to my observations on these things and sharing your thoughts on them as well. BronzeSerpentMedia.com. Thank you guys so much for y'all who are supporting. Hit those like buttons wherever you are. If you're on YouTube's or my website, or whether you're on on Facebook. Nothing draws a crowd like a crowd. So if you start hitting those like buttons, like there's some people watching, hey, maybe other people will start watching and maybe even might start supporting. Because, hey, I don't know about you, but don't you think that would be money better sent my way than sending perverted money over toward $1 million in 3 hours?
Yeah.
Wow, over $1 million in 3 hours.
Jay said that her brother set up an OnlyFans as well. And you know what? When I looked into this, their parents seem a little creepy. Like they want fame for their kids at any cost.
Hey, you got some parents who have kids who set up their OnlyFans account and who have kids who film them doing what they're doing.
I forgot about that. That young man films his mother. Yes, I forgot about that.
Hey, the perversion is out there, bro. And y'all, hey, we can complain about this stuff or we can compete. So I hope y'all that you will help support, us building our production company so we can bring you some creative media, and I'm talking creative salt and light media. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you keep us in your prayers and help share our work so we can get some more supporters. Y'all who are supporting, we ain't asking anybody to dig any deeper. We're already very grateful, but we just hope that the shares and the likes, so maybe we can attract some more folks to support what we're doing. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all have a groovy rest of your week, and we will talk again soon. BronzeSerpentMedia.com. Bye.